have a reset, and I'm going to invite Elizabeth and her team to come on up, and we're going to do a nice little conversation about leadership.
So I'd like to invite a few of my friends up here. We're going to be doing a panel. So Teresa Hnat, Soribel, Leslie, and we've got one more. Britany, if you could come on up here. We're going to be, and yeah, give them a round of applause as they're coming up. Best-selling authors. Lovely. There you go. So we're going to be talking about leading through example today. And sometimes as we were talking about putting this book together, some folks might not have thought of themselves as leaders, right? And I'm not saying that's all you, I'm just saying in general, sometimes we don't recognize what leadership is. We might be doing it naturally and not recognize that in ourselves, what those qualities are. So we are going to be talking about this quality that some of us have and have stepped into of taking the things, their experiences, and deciding, instead of letting those experiences in life to let them shut them down, to take them out of life, to actually use those experiences as fuel to make a difference, to help other people. And all of the people that are here today up here with me are folks like that. So we have a series of questions. We're going to be talking a little bit about what leadership means to everyone here. And first, we'd like to talk about what are the chapters that we wrote about in the book, and what that, a little bit about the story that you all shared. So let's just go through. Teresa?
Well, I am definitely one of those people who never thought I was qualified to lead at all. I am shy, I have social anxiety, and my chapter is really about overcoming that in a sense. I've always wanted to be a photographer, but part of that is leading other people. And the thought of telling strangers what to do absolutely terrified the living daylights out of me. So my chapter really explores my journey of working through that and coming out on the other side and really embracing and loving now telling other people what to do.
You do a great job at it. She's a fantastic photographer. Very similarly, as I shared earlier, anxiety has always been a huge part of my life. And because of that, I was always very hidden. So the idea of ever being a guide for anybody, it would be a terrible idea for them. Hopefully not anymore now that I've grown a little bit. But my chapter is really sharing a lot of these little mini stories that had an impact on my bigger story and the narrative that I had really led my life through. So I share a lot of insight into how a story can really develop into one giant tale we tell ourselves, and it's usually a big lie. She wouldn't listen. Chapter 3. I don't know what page that is.
Hello, everyone. So my chapter is about a personal experience in my life that helped me to be more aware of people and helped me to love people despite where they were in their life, whatever their past was, and what that personal experience was is my son who was born with special needs, and I had no idea. I went through 9 months of pregnancy thinking I was going to have a typical son, and learning how to love him and help everyone else to love him despite his what we call imperfections. And through that life experience, it helped me to want to help others. Now in my my professional experiences, to help women to show up as their best selves and to take every imperfection that they have and help them to use it as a strength in their business, help them to take that confidence, take that imperfection and use it as a megaphone and embrace it, but also to help them to envision them, whatever they envision themselves like in their head, to help to bring that forth in their vision, in their businesses, and in their life. So that's it.
What's your chapter?
Oh, my chapter is From Grief to Purpose, because I did a lot of grieving. And through that grief, I did find my purpose. My first profession, I am still a registered nurse, in which I still love to help people and help people heal, but it kind of transferred over into my new profession as a brand photographer and helping women to find that if they're in a complicated space in or just not wanting to come out of who they are internally at their core, that's where I come in and helping you to really show that forth through the camera and through coaching.
Hello, everyone. My name is Soribel. And I want to say that I decided to be a leader when I was 7 years old. The problem for me was, how was I going to get from the Dominican Republic to being the woman that I wanted to be? And I want to really honor, my mom is not here, I want to cry, but I want to honor my parents for giving me the opportunity to be here so I can really be the woman that I am today and to help others become who they really are. So the chapter that I wrote is Unbreakable. It's chapter number 2. And I'm going to share with you the story when I was diagnosed with not just 1, but 2 brain aneurysms. My son was just 3 years old and my partner had walked out. And I had to go through that experience all by myself. So in this chapter, I share how I was able to transform this adversity into more leadership, into a woman that has more power, more confidence in herself. That little girl that one time said, I want to be an entrepreneur, I want to be a businesswoman, I want to do whatever I want. I don't want to apologize for the things that I want to do, who I want to become, how I want to show up in the world. So I'm going to be sharing this, and believe it or not, you all were in my vision before you got here. Because at 7 years old, I decided that I was going to be this woman that one day was going to put a story. I don't know what that story was going to be, but I was going to put that story in a book. And I think it's amazing. I'm so excited.
Oh, thank you. You are all so amazing. I'm crying. I can't handle it. Oh, so we have up here, we have 2 therapists and we have 2 brand photographers up here, right? Which is so cool. And what I'm curious, and some of you started to go into this a little bit, but I'm curious what having the experiences that you have had, how that impacts the way that you do your work today.
So for me, it definitely helped me curate my client experience. because I have so much anxiety. I completely understand why people are terrified of getting in front of the camera. So I am very empathetic to their concerns, and I go to extreme lengths to make sure that every single person that steps in front of my camera feels confident, they feel comfortable, they feel powerful. And I think there comes a time for all of us, and some of us have reached this point and some of us are not there quite yet, but I think we will be soon, where we realize that we have amazing gifts to share and that we need to own them. So we need to become the face of our brand. And for me and my clients, I really want the fact that they have now recognized this to be a celebration, because they are worthy and now they see their worth. So for me, it should be a really amazing celebratory experience that just embraces that they're now stepping into the spotlight and owning their worth.
So when I was a teenager and I went to therapy for the first time, bless this woman. I remember she started to talk to me about my inner child. And much like Barb mentioned about being a rebel, I had no time for that. No time for that when I was a teenager. And I remember looking at her and asking her if she knew what it felt like to have the experiences that I did with trauma and with anxiety. And she was like, no, I've never had that experience. And I remember saying to her, then there is no fucking way that you're going to be able to help me, because you need to be able to understand what I'm going through. And that was important for me. And I never went back for years and years and years. And so I recognize how important it was, at least for me. And then through my time as a therapist, learning that this was true for all of my clients, that connection. It's not understanding the clinical stuff is important, obviously, but there's something very special about being able to forge that connection with people and really understand. I can't understand your exact experience, obviously, but to be able to understand how crippling things can be and how you can just feel like this is just what it's going to be like forever. I'm going to be stuck like this. So to hear somebody who has gone through it can be very empowering. And I wanted to bring that connection to my clients. And so I do. I don't lie about my story, where when we're in school to be therapists, it's like you have to act like, you know, with your clipboard. No time for that in my sessions either. So yeah, that is what I bring to it, is just an empathy that I find helps people to heal differently.
Well, go ahead, clap. So my personal experience contribute, how it kind of manifests in the work that I do is, wow. Where do I start? I am compassionate. But I also feel that when somebody is in front of my camera, I'm able to see something that they don't see within themselves and be able to pull that out in front of them. Not to mention prior to coming before the camera, but in conversation, just consciously listening to the likes, the dislikes, the fears, and all the things, and helping them work through that in the session and through the camera, and talking about the vision. The vision is so important because that's part of my job, to help that vision unfold on what that person sees themselves like in their head, right? And a lot of times when we see ourselves something like this picture or celebrity status in our head, we're afraid, right? Because we feel like we can't show up as that person. So I'm your cheerleader in that moment in front of the camera to help you be the vision. Because that's one of my questions is, what do you see yourself looking like. I want the description. And we help you. You don't even think I'm helping you in that moment until we actually see the photographs. But I'm keenly listening to you to see what your vision is and helping you put it in story form and helping it, what is the word I'm looking for? To show up, you know, the energy. And I'm all big on energy in front of the camera, is you need to help the client exude the energy that they want the audience to feel.
Interesting enough, I have had these two ladies as my photographers. Prior to COVID, Teresa was my event photographer, right? Remember those days? And I have had Leslie, and they're both fantastic. They both really do what they're telling you they do. So that's great. So when I was first diagnosed with the 2 brain aneurysms, I learned in my life to not ask God why. I learned to ask, show me the reason. What is the purpose of this situation that I may be going through? Because I know that adversity was not designed to take you out. It's designed to lift you up and get out of you things that you wouldn't otherwise do or achieve. So I asked God to show me the reason why I was going through this situation, because I know it was not like he was punishing me, like I'm an angel, like that was not the reason. So one day I was sitting in front of a client, and that client said, the other day when you sent me that text message, you interrupted my suicide. And I was sharing with her, prior to her saying that, I was sharing with her a little bit about my story, because I don't believe in the therapist that's like, I'm perfect, like, yes. So I am very open with my clients to share the story because I think it's empowering to them. And she said, the other day, when you sent me that text message, you interrupted me committing suicide. And something came over me and said, that is the reason why. And I understood after years that the reason why I went through that difficult time in my life is for me to become the leader that I decided to be when I was 7 years old. Not just for clients, because I empower different people in different ways. I'm a leader in my family. I'm a leader as a mother. I'm a leader as a therapist. I'm a leader as the owner of SM Psychotherapy and Counseling Services. I'm a sex therapist, and I empower couples and women to embrace their sexuality. And I'm also a business coach. And I can't even tell you all the things where I have shown my ability to be a leader. Not because what I can do for them, but what can help them achieve for themselves. So that's how I want to help my clients through my experiences, showing them that everything is possible. I completed my 3rd master's degree right after brain surgery. So to me, this is so important because I want to give every person that come in contact with me, I want to give them an experience, and I want to be able to utilize my story to empower them to do the best that they can do and become the person that they want to be.
Thank you. So I want to make sure that we all have time to share ways. Everyone has a gift to offer and share with everyone here, and the way that people can connect with them and contact you. So could you all share what that would be for you?
So my gift is the 3 photos you need for your website, and it will help you know what to look for when you're ready to put yourself out there. And you can connect with me on my website, which is teresahnat.com, or on Instagram. And my handle is @Teresa Hnat Studio.
I'm very unprepared. Is this the gift that we did earlier, like last month? Okay, cool. Just wanted to make sure. So I was like, oh shit, I didn't prepare. So my gift is it's a journaling exercise to help to start to identify the narratives that we tell ourselves and where those belief systems really stemmed from, to be able to work through them and undo those belief systems. And you can find me at Britany, Britany, Quagan, Quagan, counseling.com, or my Instagram handle is just at Britany Quagan. It's not at just Britany Quagan, it's at Britany Quagan. Sorry. And yeah, that's about it.
Well, my free gift will be a Grief to Purpose worksheet, and it provides you with steps that I use to overcome the stages of grief and to walk into my purpose. You can, my social media handles are I am Leslie Gomez on Instagram, and my website is www.iamlesliegomez.com.
Okay, this book is already coming handy because it says right here what my gift is. So I'm gifting you my Live Your Purpose workbook, and it's a way for me asking you questions to really get deep into either finding your purpose, reconnecting with your purpose, so you can live the life that you truly were meant to live. And you can find me, like, I'm everywhere. Soribel Martinez on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, soribelmartinez.com, psychotherapy and counseling services.com. And if I keep telling you all the websites that I have, so you can find me. We provide psychotherapy, counseling, and psychiatric services to children, adolescents, adults, couple, families. We also have med providers who are able to help clients, if they need any other type of treatment. So that's it.
Oh, I'm sorry. And my photography website is www.lmgphotography860.com.
I want to turn 2. So greenheartliving.com is how you find me. And I have put together a free publishing guide. So sometimes people want to know what types of publishing is out there. How do I get my book out there? And there are 3 different pathways to publishing, and none is better than the other. There's just one that is going to fit and be best for you. So the guide will help you look at that and see, okay, well, I have this idea for a book. How do I get it out there? So you can grab that. If you go to my table back there, there's a QR code. I'm so proud of myself for making it yesterday. And so you can grab that guide that way. Thank you so much. You all did great.